Hello, friends of the internet, and welcome to your very first episode of... I don't know why we both did that.
Yeah. Just good.
That was awkward.
That's a habit.
Welcome to your very first episode of Drunken Nerdcast.
Yeah.
If you don't know, we run a podcast called... General Nerdcast. And we're going to do a little bit of the same thing, but we have a little bit of booze in us, and we're going to share along the spirits with you, and we're going to hang out and talk and just have a good time.
Yeah. Drinking some Jameson.
Obviously,
Barrel.
things could get a little controversial. We're going to try to keep it not controversial, though, because I don't like controversy.
Yeah.
But shit does happen. So, I am one of your hosts, Bobby. Put a name to the face to the name. This is my counterpart.
I'll be Tyler.
He's be Tyler. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the Jameson. Going to have a little bit of Jameson. Talk about some video games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get into it. We got some
some
wee topics we want to bring to you.
Yeah. So, if you've listened to our podcast, you know that it's a little more structured. This will not be as structured.
No.
We're we have a couple topics. We're just going to go with it. We're just going to talk. We're going to go with it. And we're just going to talk. And we're going to drink some. And we're going to talk. And we're going to do it.
We're going to fumble around a little bit.
We're already doing it.
Yeah.
That's what we do here at the General Cast.
General Cast of our nerds.
That's one thing that I was thinking about. Is General Nerdcast going to be the brand? And then we have, like, trickle downs here? Or are we going to do, like, more of a own separate
I think General Nerdcast should be the brand.
scenarios?
All
Alright, anyway. So,
just watching your hands, I got confused.
the first thing we're going to talk about today is gaming delays. Like
Yes.
when developers delay games and what that actually means for the industry, consumer, retailer.
Just everybody all around.
Just general things.
Every person involved. all
So-
the generalness of it.
So, I mean, if you really think about it, when a game is delayed, it means one of two things. It means that the devs either know the game's not ready, or there is a backdoor sort of hidden thing that we don't know about per some publisher, I guess. Publisher that is
Putting
kind of a
hold.
delay on it. He doesn't want it out yet. He's not ready. Okay, so like, let's use a Fractured Butthole
Okay.
as an example. Let's say Trey Parker and Matt Stone have finished the game. Everything's ready to go. It's perfect. They have it all done. But Ubisoft doesn't want the game out yet. So Ubisoft puts a delay on it because they're publishing the game. So
That's one
there
reason.
are kind of things that you have to think about. For me, when a game is delayed, it means that the game isn't ready. Immediately when I see a game is delayed, it's not ready. They need more work on it. And I'm 100% okay with that. I
Yeah.
would rather them delay the game than release a broken game.
See, that's
Looking at you again, Ubisoft.
That's a good reason for game delays, is because it's not ready, they want to put more work into it, and that's just like the topic we talked about a little while ago of the DLC for Resident Evil 7 getting delayed. Is they didn't think it was good enough to meet expectations of what the original game was.
That's one of those things. He came out.
The way they did it.
I can't remember the director that came out and said it, but
I wouldn't be able to pronounce his name anyway. So.
exactly. So he came out and that's directly what he said.
Yeah.
He said it's not ready. It won't live up to expectations. The game Resident Evil 7 did way better than anybody expected it to. So this DLC, we could release it right now, but it wouldn't be half as good as what you people deserve and what we want to give you.
Yeah.
So
There you go. That's a good reason. The iffy reason, which this only makes sense for the company-wise, is delaying it for a certain time frame. Is they gave a time frame on when they wanted it out, and then for some reason they delayed it because they wanted it to come out holiday season or during a certain event.
Bazinga.
That,
holiday season.
consumer-wise, I think it's kind of crappy, but
Yeah,
it's also
for
not...
us, it sucks.
Yeah, but company-wise, I could see it making a lot of sense, is because more people are going to be willing to buy it because it just came out. It's the fresh new game around the holiday time. They're more likely to sell more copies, and this is the Call of Duty. It's
Call of Duty effect.
Yeah, it's not so much that they delay their games for that. It's they purposely release it around the holiday time so they'll sell.
Yeah. And there are games that do that. A lot of games will do that. Battlefield is a holiday release always. Call of Duty, we just said. Any kind of big releases that they expect to succeed. That was really hard for me to say. Really big games that they expect to succeed are the games they'll release in the holiday season. Games that they want or don't think are going to do as well are games they release in the early beginning of the year. I'm not saying like if a game is delayed to the beginning of the year, like right now. No, Fractured Ball is coming out this year. I was thinking later. It goes come out next year, but no, it's coming out this year. So let's use that as an example again. If they delayed it into like February, that's a different example. If they delay a game into the beginning of the year, it's not exactly saying the game's going to fail. Games that they usually release in the beginning of the year after the holiday season, if that's the release day, are games that they don't expect to do well. Because everybody's already spent all their money. They spend all their gift cards on all the games they want from Christmas. So like January, February games are kind of like, well, everybody's already spent all their money in Christmas a month ago, so why do they want to spend more money now?
I think that's a hit and miss theory. Just because
excuse me.
Horizon came out in February.
But
did they really expect that one to fail?
I'm going to look back and say yes.
Yeah?
I don't think they expected it to fail. I think they didn't expect it to sell as well as it did. I think I think Horizon was originally supposed to be out in November anyway.
We'll have to look. I really don't remember
I think it was
on any delays, but
I think it was delayed.
So you're saying if it's originally supposed to be released in that month, it's a game you're expecting to do mediocre at least.
I mean, just think about it. You go into Christmas, like, okay, so let's talk about it a little before Christmas. Right before Christmas, you have November time.
Shitload of games always come out.
That's when all the big AAA games come out.
Yeah.
You have all the people that'll buy those games for loved ones or friends or whatever, and then so they do that, and then Christmas comes along, and you have parents that buy gift cards or games for their children, stuff like that, and they spend all their money.
Mumbo jumbo.
Everybody, so November, December, everybody spends all their money on games.
Yes.
Which is also why they release consoles in that window as well, October, November, December. Sorry, Dooley. But then it comes down to everybody's already spending all their money, and then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day comes along, everybody goes on parties, spends more money.
Yeah.
So then you have all of this time to recuperate from all the extra money that you spent from holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas. So January and February times, you don't want to spend a lot of money. Nobody goes on vacation in January, February.
That's true.
Nobody wants to spend money in those months because, well, I mean...
Yeah. Just in the general sense.
The average Joe. Because they've already spent all their money in the 2 or 3 months previous.
It didn't survive.
For a quick test. Well, Switch wins, everybody. Yeah. The Switch has one leg to stand on. It wins an earthquake test in a balance contest between the Vita.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, so you have everybody spent all their money, but
Jesus,
I'm just gonna take it off.
All right.
With Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it comes down to January, February, and February is Valentine's Day, so no one's going to spend money on video games then, unless
I don't know,
unless
it's
on you or I, or like something like that, and then they want to give you a game for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But it's that window where nobody wants to spend money because they're trying to recuperate the money they just spent on the holidays.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Rambled on for way too long. Just trying to get that out.
So the original releases in that time frame are games, meh games.
Yeah, they're kind of like, we'll release it. It's probably going to be good, but we're not sure.
Maybe word of mouth will help it out, or something.
And like, you know what? Here, I'll look up Horizon's original release date.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure
into that.
I'm pretty sure it was originally supposed to be released in that November.
Okay,
but I could be wrong.
I really don't remember. I just think it's hit and miss, just because, because games like that. But I was also going to bring up Nintendo released in March with Zelda and everything, and but that was delayed. The Switch.
They literally delayed Zelda for a year and a half. For the Switch. So I don't know if you can count that.
I don't know what their factor is on this. They just delayed stuff to wait, and that is that's another form of delays that we'll probably get into, is delaying one game or several games specifically because of new systems coming out, which is something every company's going to do because they want to be on the new best thing, the new exciting thing. So when the Scorpio comes out and when it is officially released as the next gen, what we may see game delays because of it towards the next gen.
And see, that's another thing that really irritates me is when they delay games for a console. Nintendo did it with Zelda, so they had a launch game with the Switch because they didn't have anything else prepared, which is fine. That's great. Don't tell me this game's going to come out in I think it was originally 2015. It was supposed to be holiday 2015, and then you release it in what, March
2017. Yeah,
March 2017. So you're telling me you delayed a game almost a year and a half because you wanted to wait for your console. That's bullshit. Honestly, if they would have released Zelda for the Wii U like they had planned, and then when the Switch came out, they were like, oh, we're going to re-release it for the Switch. I guarantee you it would not have halted their sales. No. Because at that point, the Wii U was already dead. Nobody would have given a shit. And then when the Switch came out, everybody was like, you know what? Zelda, the Switch, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart Remake. I could get a Switch.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it would have hindered their sales at all.
Probably not. The only thing I could see them doing to not hinder it as much, because they probably would have delayed it anyways because they didn't want a full year. Granted, this is also a hit and miss theory because I can't say they wouldn't want a full year between it because they released remade versions on the Switch years and years later for the games that are coming out now. But I don't think for a fresh game...
Half the Switch library came out in 2012, so,
yeah.
I don't think whatever.
The fresh Zelda game, they would probably delay it to where it is only a couple of months before the Switch came out. They probably wouldn't have given it the full year.
And see, so my counter-argument is, if you look at The Last of Us. The Last of Us came out on PS3. A year later, the PS4 came out.
It came out as a remastered version.
It came out as a remastered version, and it sold incredibly well for a game that was just remastered. I bought it again.
That's how I bought my PlayStation.
Yeah, I have two different copies of The Last of Us. I have I think it's digital version that I got. No, I have a physical copy. Two physical copies of The Last of Us.
Jesus.
On PS3 and PS4, and it has nothing to do with the fact that it's remastered, I want to spend more money on it. It had to do with that it was a great game.
Yeah.
And I would have rebought it anyway because A, it was cheaper, and B, it's a great game. So I don't see why I wouldn't at least help support them to make a second one. And now we're getting Last of Us Part 2. For that, America, you're fucking welcome. That's my doing, not you. Fuck you. Also, go buy it.
I'll play Last of Us 2. I don't know if I'll get sucked in.
I'll kick you right in the dick. No, it's hard to live up to what The Last of Us was. I know you weren't a huge fan, but...
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. I honestly think you guys just talked it up so much for months that I just...
And see, I think if you would have just played it when we told you to, it would have been great. It would have been done. And you would have been like, this is the greatest game ever. But, you gave us 6 months to talk you up on it, and then by the time you played it,
I had to make it worth it in my head to buy a PlayStation.
I mean, this game's pretty cool, I guess.
Because it wasn't just buying the game. It was, hey, buy this game and the console type thing. So,
and back to my point, Horizon was February 28th.
February 28th.
Was the original date
of
2017.
Of 2017. Mm-hmm. That was the original date.
Yep. So, I guess they didn't expect it to succeed. I mean, it's Guerrilla's first RPG, so they didn't really know exactly what they were going to do with it. There's a lot of factors that I could see them being like, we don't know what to expect, but here you go. And it exceeded all expectations.
Yeah.
Which is great, because it's a great game. But there it is, yeah.
Well, they're not the biggest developer ever, so I can see them just be like, all right, this is the time frame where it's not going to get bombarded of other releases. Maybe that's how.
And see that could also be another hindering factor in when they get released too, is the fact that so let's look at it like God, what was it just recently? Something came out right around the same time as Call of Duty, and it was a first-person shooter, and Titanfall.
Oh.
Titanfall 2 came out the same day as Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and Infinite Warfare was plugging buy the Super Collector's Edition and you get Modern Warfare Remastered, which was the biggest fucking selling point they had. So, you release a first-person shooter to compete with Call of Duty, which is never going to fucking happen because you have so many sheep that you'll just buy Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty. No offense, Cody. But, I mean, it all comes back to games you have to compete with, like we were just saying. Did you want Horizon to compete with the holiday games, or did you want Horizon to have its own fucking window all by itself?
Yeah.
So, I guess you could say that in that aspect, that not all games released in January, February are meant to fail.
No, because
they're kind of the in between. Like, they're not exactly sure how well they're going to do, but at the same time, they don't want to compete with anything because they're worried that it might affect something else.
Yeah, that's the thing with the gift card argument. If it was delayed into there, delayed into there is just a completely different thing. A game originally released in that time frame of January and February, even March, it's still likely, because, I mean, I've held on to gift cards for a long time, just not knowing what I wanted to buy.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm sure some people do that too, so some of that money will be applied. People may be like, well, I mean, I have it, so I can buy it and try it out. So,
yeah.
Games in that time frame, they're just going to be hit and miss on whether they expect them to fail. I'm still more on the side of, I mean, nobody's going to release a game expecting it to be like, oh yeah, this is shit.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I'm gonna let you release the game, but it's gonna be shit. But we're Kanye West in game patch now. We're just gonna rock up on stage. Hey, I'm gonna let you finish with your game, but it's gonna be shit.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you buy this, you're gonna hate it. This is gonna suck. So much.
That's their E3 conference. The game pops up behind them, like, wait, hold on. Before we play this trailer, I'm gonna let y'all know. This trailer looks fucking sick. It looks great. Wicked awesome, right? Don't buy this game, because I played it, and it's garbage.
Trash.
It's probably the worst game I ever played. But here's the trailer anyway. Here we go. Plays the trailer, everybody's like, yeah, it's so good! And he's like, wait, I just told you, don't buy this game.
Keep in mind what I said.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Everybody's all jacked up on the trailer, like, yes, trailer, yes, this looks so good! And like, stop! I just told you! This game sucks!
Yeah, so no game's gonna be doing that. Be like, this is a shitty game.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it out then.
Well, unless it's Ubisoft. Ubisoft might.
See, I just want to sit in on some marketing meetings like, this is fucking trash. I can't believe we did this. Is there any way to improve it? Yeah, are we gonna do it? Maybe.
100% the biggest marketing thing that I want to sit on is Nintendo. Like, because of the fact that they don't release enough ever for anything forever. And
how many do you want to produce?
I just want to sit down and sit in that meeting where they're like, all right, well, we already have 6 million pre-orders. How many do we want to manufacture right now? Probably like 2 million. But we already have this many pre-orders. Yeah, but we want them to feel like it's worth the wait. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, but they already pre-ordered it. We already have their money. So we should probably just give them the console, right? Like, well, no, because here, look, think about it like this. If we don't release enough consoles, the consumers look bad. Not us. We're Nintendo. We're awesome. So we'll blame the consumers saying they didn't order enough. Boom. Marketing. Somebody call a marketing executive because I'm going to market the shit out of everything ever.
Yeah.
So, we got a little off topic of marketing. Yeah, we're talking about delays and what they mean.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know. I'm hit and miss on that theory for January, February, just because I think people... The gift card scenario of it, I think, helps balance it.
Checks and balances, okay.
Yeah.
I can see your argument, for sure. But it's just...
It's because it's not that prime time to put them out.
Yeah, and it's just one of the... for me, looking at it, when you look at games in that release window, they don't particularly do very well. That's why I'm like, I think they release games in there to fail, but, I could be way off, and it could just be... They could be thinking, well, we can get the gift card market in, a month and a half when this game comes out. Maybe they'll save their gift cards for this, and then we'll get them for here.
Yeah.
That could be a thought process behind it, too.
That's probably one thing they got to consider. Looking at Game of the Year, like categories and whatnot, I can see the earlier releases are having more trouble because of the fresh releases. So,
I've been saying it since the beginning of General Nerdcast, is that Horizon Zero Dawn will be Game of the Year.
Are you hit and miss on that a little bit now?
I take it back just a little bit because it was released in February.
Yeah.
And it used to... Okay, so you're competing with Mass Effect Andromeda, which kind of tanked because everybody was upset about the facing and the faces and gamers are babies.
Yeah.
And then you have to compete with Call of Duty World War II. You have to compete with A Fractured Butthole, Destiny 2. These are all games that are coming out, and they're going to be super fresh in their minds when they're voting. And you're going to have to think like, oh, what games did I play in the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I played Persona 5 in May, so...
Yeah.
That's probably the most recent game that I played. Horizon was probably in 2016. Forget that one.
Do you think there's delays because of that factor? Because of Game of the Year upvotes?
Wow.
Because of that stuff? I've never considered that option.
I never thought of that, but I could see it. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, it's a good strategy to win Game of the Year. And then, so you win Game of the Year, in 4 months you can release a Game of the Year edition. Make more money all over again. So, I mean, it's very possible that you delay a game that, like, if they were to delay... If they were to delay Horizon Zero Dawn from February to September,
September,
we'll call it a long delay to September. I mean, you're talking. You went from a forgettable window to prime time. Everybody's still thinking about your game when it comes to the December Game of the Year VGAs and stuff. I mean, I could totally see somebody doing that. I mean. If you think about it, maybe Destiny 2 did that. Because we've known Destiny 2 is
we've known it's going to be a while.
We've known it's been in development for a long time. Hasn't been a secret. Bungie tried to keep it a secret, wasn't a secret. But then it came down to, well, we're ready to release it September. Could they have released it during the summer? Probably.
Possibly.
I mean, Destiny 1 wasn't exactly the perfect polished game I expected it to be, but it was still fun as fuck.
After expansions, it got to where to an area they wanted it to be. They could have with a game like that. That's another category we can go into. But with a game and delays, with a game like that, it took months of expansions to get players to where all the general players were really happy with it, not just the hardcore players.
Yeah, like. I'll admit I was a filthy casual in Destiny, and it took until the Taken King where I was like, you know what, I could do it again.
Pretty good.
I could do it again, and then I played it, and I was like, this is what I wanted it to be in the beginning.
This is close enough to what I wanted it to be.
This is the Destiny that I was expecting.
I have my complaints still, but we all do.
But this was in the grand scheme and log haul of things like this. When I got into the Taken King and I was like, I started playing it and I started getting all the gear and it started leveling up way faster than it was in the original and all the other stuff, I felt like this was the Destiny that I wanted in the beginning. This is what I was expecting it to be from vanilla Destiny.
Yeah.
And it took them, almost 2 years to catch up to what we all expected. I really hope they do better with Destiny 2.
There's already several improvements for just the base functionality on that game.
But again, it comes down to did they delay a release from original? Okay, so you were Bungie and you were given a release window. We're like, we want you from March to July. And you're like, well, all right, we'll try. And it comes down to beginning of March, and you're like, you know what? Here's the thought. Do we want to release another Destiny where it's Destiny 1? Everybody's kind of like, well, it's fun, but at the end of the day, it's, or do we want to wait and delay the game and actually release a game that everybody's going to love? Or do you be like, you know what, we're ready, we're done, we're good. Do you want this game now, or do you want a Game of the Year?
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I don't know if that's ever the core reasoning, because it seems like a very small factor, possibly, unless they can release a game of the unless they think a Game of the Year edition of this game, if they're expecting it to sell well enough and give it enough time to where it won Game of the Year, and a couple months later can resell it and hit similar numbers. Like,
Yeah.
if it sells well enough, but if it was a shitty game, if it didn't sell a lot, I can't say if it was a shitty game and then it got Game of the Year. That'd be a whole
Like, whoa, wait a minute here.
Yeah, no. If it was a game that didn't sell a ton of copies, but everyone who played it loved it, found it extraordinary, all sorts of stuff, and it won Game of the Year, that would be one way to increase it. But most people who are aiming for Game of the Year probably end up having huge sales from where they originally get it. So I think they would be... I think for Game of the Year editions to delay for that, they would only want to delay into the summertime. They couldn't delay near the end of the year, because then they would have to wait even longer. Because if you if you bought a game in November, would you want to buy a Game of the Year in March or April?
I get what you're saying.
That was kind of a lot of rambling.
I mean, yeah. Well, no, but I get what you're saying. I wouldn't, personally, no.
Yeah. You bought a game 4 months ago to rebuy the game?
I already bought the season pass, so I already got all that shit, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I think Game of the Year editions are more focused to people that haven't played it yet. They're kind of trying to
give
get
them
a new audience.
to...
Yeah. So instead of having to buy the season pass on top of the game and stuff, they can release Game of the Year edition for, the $50 price, and you get all the DLC, and you get all this stuff, and you get all the pre-order bonuses that you would have gotten if you pre-ordered the game originally, and blah 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 blah. But you get it a few months later.
Yeah.
With
that, I can see it with that targeted audience. Yes, I can see that being how they'd want to do it. But with where the Game of the Year does include all that stuff, if it sold well enough in the November timeframe, they wouldn't want to sell it at the discounted price with the involvement of all the season passes stuff. So it ended up making the Game of the Year edition even more pricey than... So I think...
Yeah.
Delaying for Game of the Year isn't the most plausible...
It's not It's not a very plausible theory.
Yeah. It is a theory.
I'm not shooting it out of the window. I'm not saying...
I think it's still possible.
I'm not about to tell you no fucking game company's ever delayed a game into that window to get Game of the Year. I'm not going to tell you that. But I am going to tell you it doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Talking it through, you're right. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's really hard to make sense of that. It's an interesting thought.
That's some whack ass shit.
That's about as far as it made it. So,
what I love about game delays, I'm gonna tell you right now. I love game delays.
Yeah,
I'm that guy. When they delay a game, I'm like, you know what?
They're working on it.
You do you. I love you. And I think about it as, this game's not ready. And instead of releasing a broken-ass game that doesn't work, Ubisoft, they're going to delay it a few months, and they're going to get a game that actually works. So we don't have missing faces, Telltale, and we don't have, broken engines, Telltale, and, you just don't have a broken game like a Ubisoft game. Yeah. You have a polished, superb game that you could play all the way through from beginning to end without stopping, because some broken-ass, don't walk into this city with this save point, Bethesda. No, okay. That was a low blow. That was a low blow. I don't think... If you think about trying to
design a
fucking... if you bug test for Fallout,
Skyrim, anything like that.
Think about it. You have to be wearing every single different type of armor, and every single different type of slot, every single different type of weapon, and every single different type of slot. You have to
every
have
type of enchantment.
Every type of enchantment, everything. Every time enchantment, you have to have every kind of item in every single slot, every single number that you can carry that kind of item. It's impossible to bug test for a game like that. I'm sorry for that. Was a little low. I'll bring those back up here. So sorry, Bethesda. I love you. That was low. Yeah, no, it just came out and it was low. But what was I saying? I love game delays because it means that they give themselves an extra time frame, a little bit extra time to work on the game, polish the game, make it better, so that we as consumers don't bitch and complain, because gamers are the biggest babies in the history of the universe. So, for me personally, I love game delays.
Yeah,
I think when they this game's not ready, we're gonna delay it. I'm like, you know what? Cool. That's great. When you delay it a year and a half, Nintendo, you're pissing me off.
So you like it when it's delayed to be enhanced, to be worked on, to be improved.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of what probably half of the delays are for marketing reasons.
Yeah. Yes.
You hate the marketing delays.
So, okay. A key example is Uncharted 4, Uncharted 3, and Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
All three of those games were delayed like 3 to 6 months. Then they all came out flawless games. They worked perfectly, and all three of them won Game of the Year in their own aspect. So, I mean, if you think about it, they delayed their games to fix their games and make sure they ran as smooth as they possibly could, as great as they possibly could, and it just came out as a flawless game. But if you think about a game like Breath of the Wild, where it was delayed for console marketing reasons, pisses me off. Great game.
Yeah, great game, but the delay reason was bullshit.
Yeah.
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 No, I agree with that. I hate when they market it. Like, if they delay it so they can market certain aspects, like a game that's getting near end, they're still working on it.
Choke a little bit. Hold on.
Okay.
Keep on.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
A game that's delayed, it's near the end. It's like it would be released in E3 time, or they can delay it so they can market it during E3 time.
Okay.
And then delay it into near holiday or into holiday season. Do you think that's worth it? Because it's a small delay, like say it was a 3 to 4 month delay, so they could work on the marketing for E3 to help explore the game to audiences, or do you think that they should just say, hey, it's being released next month, this is what we have to show for it, and have it come out the next month after E3?
That's a fine line, too. Because if you think about a Fractured Butthole was originally announced the year that I went to E3 with Beard Statues of Video Games, the old podcast I used to do. Shout out to Spencer and Nate. We went, we had a good time. We saw the trailer for a Fractured Butthole. We got to kind of like sit down with Ubisoft and talk about it.
Yeah.
And they made it sound like this game was, 6 months out. But now we're 2 years later,
and
it's been delayed 3 times, and I'm still not convinced that it's coming out in
this year. August 16th.
October 17th.
Wow, whatever.
I'm still not convinced it's coming out October 17th because I don't feel like they're a trustworthy company. And that sucks for me to say because Ubisoft has been a company for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I've loved their games for a really long time, but just the last, 5-6 years they've really let me down, and that sucks. But I mean, did they delay it originally because it wasn't ready? 100%. Did they delay it this last time
because it wasn't ready?
I mean, it was supposed to be out the end of March originally.
Yeah, it was
the second time or third time, whenever they delayed it again.
March, April time, I believe.
Yeah, okay, so then that window, and then they delayed it, and pretty much they said it's delayed indefinitely. We have no time frame. We're working on it, but we don't have a time frame for it to be out. And then all of a sudden they're like October. It's like, okay, so did you hold it off to give yourself an E3 conference, or did you hold it off because it wasn't ready?
Yeah, that's an interesting. That
something to think about.
It is, and then that's exactly what this part is. It's just, it's hard to think if a company is doing that because they found a fucking game-breaking bug.
Yeah,
like the indefinitely throws it off, but because having E3 in between indefinite and when they actually had the release date announced, it makes it a little questionable on why they're delaying it.
Yeah, and it's
that's
a laughing wife in the background.
That is. That's just another thought of, another consideration of a company needs to be more honest about, just slightly more honest about why they're making this decision.
All of a sudden, we're back to the real point of this whole conversation. Company honesty. Just be fucking honest with us, and we don't have this kind of conversation. Like, if you come out... Alright, say Ubisoft comes out last week is when that news broke. It was about a week and a half ago, I guess. They come out and they're like, hey, we found a release window. What we wanted to do is we wanted to give all the companies some time and put together an E3 conference. And the game is ready now.
Help people know about the game.
And the awareness of the game wasn't exactly where we wanted it. So we delayed it into October so that they get an E3 conference. We can get it back out there, share the wealth with everybody, because we originally announced this game 2 years ago, and now it's been 2 years. We don't want people to be like, oh, it's a forgotten game. We want them to be refreshed on it. So we wanted to give PlayStation, Xbox, PC users a brand new conference and a brand new look at the game. So we came up with a great trailer for E3. You guys are going to be great. You're going to love it. You're going to see it at E3 from all three. And it's going to be out in October. Perfect statement. I would look at you and be like, I respect the shit out of that conversation, and you done did it right. But when you're just like, you know what? October's the good window for us.
Inevitably, but October.
And it's just like, I guess it comes down to company honesty.
Yeah.
I would love for them to be more honest. And it also comes down to, are they doing it for selfish reasons? Are they doing it for consumer reasons? Or are they doing it for publisher retail reasons?
Yeah.
I mean, it could come down to even as fact as GameStop. They're like, you know what? We don't want this game during this time because it's going to compete with this game. So can we get this game this time and this game this time? And then they don't clash. We get all the sales from this game. We get all the sales from this game. And then we get all the used sales over here. And we make all this money for free. And we go pay you guys a little bit over here. You see what I'm saying?
That could really be it. It could be a whole lot of retailer thing.
Yeah.
No, we have this, and this releasing. Our sales are going to be jumping all over the place, or it could just be them. Certain company, although I don't think certain companies like Best Buy or GameStop or Target or anything like that are too strict on the games they sell.
I don't think companies like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, those kind of like giant retailers, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
because their sales are all over the place and they don't care.
Yeah,
but a company like, I'm gonna take back what you said. A company like GameStop, where their key thing is game sales, I think they care about game windows and release dates.
Yeah, because they want to do the. Again, I think we're going to jump back and forth on this on opinions of GameStop. Doing the midnight releases, I don't think they're as popular as they used to be. Personally,
100%.
Yeah,
I remember Modern Warfare 2, the midnight release. There was probably like 200 people out there with us. And I was like, I pre-ordered, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna cut in front of all y'all. I don't give a shit. But like, you go on like a midnight release game for a midnight release for a game now.
It's
like
you got
30
people. Yeah. Like games like midnight releases now aren't as much as they used to be.
Midnight release Crash Bandicoot though, that insane trilogy. I'm there. I'm fucking front of the line. I'm like,
you're there
out for 2 weeks.
I don't know if everybody else will be.
I swear to God, if y'all don't fucking buy Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, I'm gonna flip the fuck out. Because this is our chance to save the Bandicoot. And I'm not even saying save the Bandicoot. I'm saying save the Bandicoot. And we've already saved the Bandicoot. We got him back. We got him remastered. We fucking got him. We did it. Thank you, Activision. Thank you, PlayStation. But I'm saying we can get all the games remastered. I'm talking everything.
Everything?
If you buy this.
Everything remastered?
I already pre-ordered, so don't just do it.
What's the shittiest game you can think of?
Ever?
Yeah. Shittiest game you can think of ever.
The Hannah Montana game is pretty bad.
I wasn't thinking that.
I heard it was a really easy platinum from Greg Miller. He's one of those guys where he's like, I got fucking 48 platinum trophies, but like you look through the list of his platinum trophies and Hannah Montana's there, and it's like, yeah, I platinum it. I got no shame. All right, man.
I could see it in that sense that for marketing for release games like that, when they try to plan big events, I had to come back to it. It took me a second. But when they're trying to plan big events for those big releases, they don't want 4 of them in the same night or even the same week. Because
which makes sense.
For employment, that would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. The money they have to spend on fucking labor.
Yeah.
Labor.
So, yeah, I could see companies. I think that's where I'm hit and miss on GameStop. Like, I'm considering GameStop in that avenue of Walmart, Best Buy, but in other ways, I can see them separated from it, too. Just because they are solely gaming, as solely gaming as they can be in comparison to those companies.
And I'm going to rebuttal with you that how much money they make off of used games.
Yeah,
they don't give a fuck about that night of the launch. What they're making all their money off of is the used games, because they don't pay retailers any money off over here.
No.
They have to pay them for the midnight releases and stuff. The advertisement they have to pay like all over here. And they probably I don't know, so they probably make 5% profit over here. They make 100% profit over here.
Yeah, for the used.
We'll talk about a Circle of Life program that they made and then deleted as soon as it came out. But
we don't know if it was as soon as it came out, because so much detail went into all those things. They could have been out for at least half a year or maybe even a full year before people started talking about it.
The Circle of Life program that the GameStop was running, it could have been literally from the launch of the very first GameStop ever.
It could have been, yeah.
But we don't know. It just recently came out.
To
blow up their whole market.
Holy shit! This is super bad.
Yeah.
And then people or GameStop was like, fuck! It came out.
Yeah, and so they shut it down.
We're not doing that.
Sorry, guys. But that's GameStop's thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Back to
game delays.
Game delays.
And you're going into GameStop. Your rebuttal against me.
No, that was it.
Oh, that was it.
5%.
They're going to make more money off of the resale.
GameStop.
That's what they're focusing on.
Yeah, GameStop makes all of their money on used game sales.
Yeah, resales.
That's where they make all of their money.
Yeah.
Because you go in, they give you, all right, I'll give you $5 for that one, $3 for that one, $7 for that one.
And here's $50 for this.
Yeah, gonna resell that one for $40, resell that one for $50, resell that one for $120.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's where they make their money, and that's where my rebuttal of the whole GameStop gives a shit about game launches. And if you think about it like that, nobody gives a shit about game launches.
No, nobody really.
The only people that do are the devs, developers.
It'd be the devs.
Developers are the same thing. There would be the devs, publishers, and consoles.
I will add one more to that.
Oh,
very small game shops, the people.
I thought you were going to say very small gamers. I was like, are you talking about little kids?
Those mini gamers kind of give a crap. They have to talk their parents into it. They have to convince them. Oh, I want 5 games during this time. That's not possible, little Jimmy. Get the fuck out in the yard.
You go do your damn chores, Jimmy.
No, that wasn't what I was going for at all. There's very small game shops that do console fixes or game sales from pretty much a cell phone business, small business of a game shop.
Yeah.
They're going to care. And maybe companies do try to target, help them out. That was nice.
Did you hear that?
I did. It was a good one.
Oh, fucked up.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the club.
I feel like a real man.
My voice just got deeper because that cracked my neck like a dude.
Nope, didn't happen. And they
We'll come back to that.
Yeah. they may be trying to target those people. They want to help. They may want to help the small business in that fact that they don't want the 5 games of having to make them cost ineffective through labor or something, trying to do those big releases.
Okay.
That's a very small portion. That can't be the sole focus of game releases at all. We totally went into just to state it right now. You all know already, anyways. We veered off of delays so bad,
but also at the same time, we kind of came into brand new weird theories that I didn't expect us to get into.
No,
the mom and pop shops. I don't think it's
a huge one. I think it's less than a 1% consideration.
Yeah. I think when they have the giant whiteboard behind them, they're like, all right, so we're targeting this audience, this audience, this audience, this audience, and mom and pop shops. Okay.
How can we, like,
yeah, and like,
there's
I
going to
don't
be the
think,
one guy in the background. How can we help them out? Like, just the
there's,
side question.
There's the one guy that, like, his dad opened his own game shop, and his mom worked with him, and like that's how they put him through college, stuff like that, and he's kind of like, hey guys, we really ought to consider those people, because they are an audience. They're kind of like, all right, fuck you, Joe. We'll delay the game a week. Fuck off. And like that's
early, make it a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
just like
maybe, you know what? The game's ready. We'll bump it up fucking 2 weeks. Yeah. All right, will that get you off my ass? Thanks, man. Dick. But yeah, no. There's a lot of different things that go into game delays.
Yeah,
and those are some theories that we just thought of. Apparently, much longer conversation than I expected. But
yeah,
there's a lot of different theories that we can think of, and a lot of different things that maybe you think of when you're thinking about a game that gets delayed, or let us know what you think a game delay means to you.
Yeah.
Is it the fact that they're trying to win Game of the Year? Is it the fact the game is broken and not ready? Is it there's 1,000 different options apparently, and we could probably do this all night. But
oh yeah, we probably could. I think essentially what our standpoint is we want even just the slightest more information as to why it's delayed. Just that little bit of information.
My biggest thing about my titties. My biggest thing. I don't know why I was doing this. But my biggest thing with anything that's announced, any delay, any kind of trailer, anything like that, my biggest thing is I want honesty. I want them to come out and tell me why it's delayed. I want them to come out and tell me exactly where they're at in production of the game. I just feel like in the long run, the more honesty that we can get out of the industry, the better off we'll all be. Because then we'll all know exactly where everybody stands.
Yeah.
Like, okay, big thing about that is when they're like, oh, this game's exclusive for this console, but only for a limited time. It's not exclusive then. It's not a fucking exclusive. What that means is it's a timed only this time, and you get this game later if you're playing on this console. That's bullshit. Don't ever fucking use the word exclusive if it's not a fucking exclusive.
Yeah,
Horizon Zero Dawn,
that's why they
exclusive. Never gonna come out anywhere else. The Call of Duty, like, well, it's exclusively on PlayStation first with the DLC.
For 2 weeks.
Turbo. That's not exclusive. It's a timed sort of. You get it first. Like it's a timed you get it first for 2 weeks, and then everybody else gets it. And doesn't matter anymore. It's not an exclusive. I'm sorry. Went off another tangent there.
Yeah,
I hate the word.
I
hate the word exclusive.
This is another topic that you want
I could literally go off on this for like another half an hour, but we'll move on about it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, don't use the fucking word exclusive unless it's an actual fucking exclusive forever. I don't want an exclusive for a time limit. I want an exclusively exclusive.
I'm gonna end it with. We need more detail on... It doesn't have... honesty and detail on why it's delayed. It doesn't even have to be a huge statement. Just honestly, the way that they did it for Resident Evil 7, that was perfect, yeah. Hey, we don't think it's fucking ready. We can't meet your expectations, so we're gonna stop it for a little bit.
We apologize, but it'll be out when we feel like you deserve... it's in a place where you deserve it to be.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. Even, hey, we found some that could possibly screw the game up. We need to work on it, so we're going to have to set it back a few months.
Yep.
I'm perfectly fine with
I'm into it. I fucking dig it.
Something simple like that. It doesn't have to be the broadest statement, because, to be honest, programming, developing, if you fuck up one line of code, it fucks up
giant fucking process. It's a huge process, and I understand that. If you don't understand that, and you're kind of like on the fence about like, oh, well, why does it delay games? Why are things broken? Why can I jump into this rock and fuck you people? No, look into coding a game.
Those exact words. Everything he said
sucks. And like you said, like you could get a letter wrong in a code.
Yeah,
and
it's gonna fuck something up.
157 characters long. You get one character wrong, and it totally blows the whole code out of the water. And that sucks.
One character wrong, you add a period in the wrong spot, and in Skyrim, you got a dragon farting out of its ass giant flames of fire, so when you're trying to come around...
Actually, that's fucking cool. I'm into that. So if you actually add an extra period to Skyrim, I'm into it.
But yeah, essentially, what the smallest... just a small detail on why it's delayed...
Yeah.
would help just the consumer side of it. Would make your player base a lot more happy when waiting for the game.
Could you imagine Pete Hines coming out and he's like, "Hey, so I'm sorry guys, there's something wrong with the code and dragons are farting fire out of their assholes, so we're trying to figure that out." And then everybody's like, "No, leave that. That's awesome.
Good. We can work with that."
Wait, real quick, is it all the dragons or just like ice dragons? Like, where are we at with this? It's like
it's hit and miss. Every now and then, a dragon's just gonna do it. Doesn't matter what dragon.
Leave it. Leave it. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, that could be a possibility if company. Sadly, this is the way I feel about it. The bigger the company, the less possible honesty there's gonna be.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody's gonna agree on that. Aside from big companies.
All right. I see where
no, we're 100% honest.
Everything we've ever said has been honest and great.
Like, you're lying right now. Literally what you're saying is not honest.
Yeah. But that's just what we hope for. We hope just the marketing team or the political team, whatever they're phrasing it as for their company, is just slightly more open about... I mean, they don't have to release every goddamn detail. I'm not expecting that. You can tell... You probably can't tell a goddamn... or a reporter to fuck off. I was going to say that. I'm going to retract that.
I'll tell him. I'm gonna fuck.
You can't tell every reporter to go fuck themselves. Can be a little more open that, hey, there has been a bug. Hey, we're actually hoping to help spread the awareness. Yeah, I would be okay with that. That statement would work with me. I know they're marketing. They've got to work on marketing so they can expand the audience. For them to get the return they need for making the game, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I see that. I see you're doing some stuff. I don't really have anything else I'm directly wanting to talk about for game delays.
I think we rambled and went back and forth on it long enough. I think we can probably move on a little bit. So that's our thoughts on game delays. If you have any other thoughts, you can drop them in the comments on the YouTube channel below. Yeah. Obviously, we'd love to hear from you guys about all of that fun stuff that we just rambled on drunkenly about. So we'd love to hear from you guys. It's awesome. Yeah. We have kind of one more... What?
Sorry, I was looking at my hair. It's super fluffy. Fluffy. Anyways, yeah, we do have one more thing to talk about. He's going to be more on this one than I am because it seemed to tickle him in a certain way. It's
it's a fun way to put it.
Yeah. So I try to make joy. So
I mean, I know most of you, if not all of you, are on social media. So
essentially,
I have to collect my thoughts.
Because we're tired. Well, we're both kind of tired. I'll admit I've seen a lot of posts on it where you say you're just scrolling through Twitter, for example, and you're looking at stories of a bunch of different things. If you scroll long enough, you will keep seeing the repeated story. Or if you follow one person, you'll see the repeated story from media like 4 or 5 times in a single day. And that might be a generous number. I don't really know.
That is a very generous number on their aspect. I mean, so okay. So here's a great example: GameSpot and
Kotaku's really bad at it.
They're both terrible at this fucking thing. They both will spam the shit out of the same article like once an hour. That's 100% too fucking often for one article. If you want to make sure people are seeing the articles that you're going for, that's fucking great. And I really, really encourage you to make sure that people are seeing your articles. And I really want them to read your articles. That's not what this is about. What I want them to do, what I want you to do, is kind of space it out a little bit. I understand that everything you ever post is clickbait, and you need everybody to see the ads so you can make all the fucking money. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the painting. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Just random thoughts.
You're not looking at Miko's skirt, are you?
No,
That's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Asuna skirt's inappropriate too.
Yeah, I know. I get
Okay.
it.
So.
No, I was looking at the just random ideas.
Sarah painted it.
Yeah.
So, what I'm getting at is, you need to just space out your articles, and I'm all about your clickbait, and you need to run your ads because you need to make money, and I get it. That's totally fine, and I understand that. But don't post the same ad for the same shit and word it exactly the same fucking way every, like once an hour or so, because I've seen you guys do that. You gotta space it out. It's just fucking annoying, and what it does is it makes me not want to click on your articles ever. Like, I went on strike from GameSpot for a long time because I was sick of their fucking, well, here, look, this is this ad, this ad, this ad, this ad. It's the same fucking ad 3 times in a row. Like, that's great. You need to make money, and I understand that. Space your shit out. Once every 6 hours, if you even want to post it all week, I'm totally down for that. That's great.
Yeah. Post
it once a day. Different times during the day. Post one at 7 in the morning. Post one at 12 in the afternoon. Post one at 3 in the afternoon. I understand that. That makes sense.
Few hour difference of.
I'm talking Monday 7 a.m.
Oh,
Tuesday.
Okay. You're talking
Tuesday,
different day.
12 p.m.
All right.
Wednesday 3 p.m. I'm talking like just space it out.
Okay. Yes, I do agree. A day difference, once a week, or not once a week, once a day. For at least a couple of days or a few days at a time would be good for the story. Unfortunately, with all the different media outlets, everybody's trying to get their story out first, which that's a different topic we're going to slightly touch on later. I
can get into it now if you want me to.
No, not yet. Not yet. That's one subject I want to touch on.
Oh, God. Yeah. That's a whole...
Yeah. The one thing I want to say is to attempt to target the people who aren't able to check Twitter that much or as much as we're able to.
Yeah.
They want to post it a couple times throughout the day.
Wait, okay.
At
I'm okay
3 to 4 times throughout the day, I think would be fine.
See
those numbers.
Okay, then I'll post it quarterly. Great, I'm okay with that. Yeah. That's totally fine.
And I can agree with phrasing it slightly differently with each post.
Okay, and if you're going to phrase it the same exact way, don't make it a new post. Just retweet your post. It's the same fucking thing. Nothing changes. It's the same link. But when you post a new thing, and I read it, and I'm like, oh, this is a new thing, and I click on it, it's the same fucking ad? Or the same, article? Not ad, sorry. Same article? That's what I'm like. All right, I'm annoyed because I clicked the same article for the same 3 hours in a row because I'm forgetful and I forgot exactly the same wording that it is.
I do have a thought on that. If they do...
Oh, it's my fault. Great. Thanks.
No, slightly.
Fuck you.
So if they do post a slightly different worded one and you are scrolling through the feeds, how angry are you going to be because it's slightly worded different when you click down the road to one you found earlier?
If I told you I didn't think about that exact scenario, would fuck you? No. No, okay.
I can see that one.
No, okay, I can see where you're getting with that, and you're probably right. I think that probably make me more mad.
Yeah.
But that's where I get mad with just retweet your article.
And
because then I can see it's retweeted. It says retweeted. I see that.
In our sense, I completely accept that with the type of media stuff we do. But with the general person of seeing that, Kotaku's retweeted their tweet 4 times.
You can't see how many times they retweeted it.
Yeah, it's just...
Because, depending on how many people you follow, you can only span back for a couple hours. So, I understand why they want to repost their shit. And they were like, oh, make sure everybody sees this because we need the ad money. And, I get it. Whatever. Yeah. But... to the extent that they're redoing it and reposting shit is just too much. Slow it down just a little bit. Just bring it back.
Slow it down in a little bit. I'm 100% for.
Bring it back. I'm not saying don't ever repost your shit.
No.
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Repost away. Make sure that people see your articles. That's 100% the way you run your business. How articles make you money and stuff like that. I get it. I'm not saying I don't understand why you're doing it.
Yeah.
I just a little less frequently would be awesome.
Okay. With seeing a company retweeting itself, how annoying or how
Can't do that or I'll choke on it.
that's yeah.
No,
don't do
I
that.
totally would.
How pompous do you think that is, in viewed from you?
For me, no, not at all.
Not at all.
I understand because it's retweeting,
Making sure your
making
audience
sure that your audience is
seeing
seeing.
it.
Because
Yes.
I follow, I don't know, 400 people maybe.
So
I don't know exactly, but I can only look back like 2 hours. So like if you're retweeting it every 6 hours or so, I mean, eventually I'm gonna fucking see it.
Yeah.
Because if I go to bed or I'm at work, whatever, I miss it for 16 hours a day. You retweet it every 6 hours, eventually I'm gonna fucking catch it, and I'm gonna be like, oh shit, now I'm gonna click on it.
yeah. So not your point of view. Say you know nothing about media. You just read stories and get angry or happy about them. And
Oh, good, angry, happy. I like
yeah,
that. Okay.
just depending on which way you go about it. How
It's a very exaggerated cough.
how irritating do you see? How annoyed do you get for seeing someone retweet their own tweet? Essentially, say it's not even a news story. It's just, hey, I tweeted this earlier. Read it again. It's
50-50. 50-50,
It's jumping
because-
around. Got it.
I mean, like I've shown you with Mitch's tweets. Mitch's tweets are hilarious.
Yeah.
And I don't see all of them, and he retweets them like 6 months later, and I'm like,
Oh,
that's fucking gold.
yeah.
So, I don't know, an outside perspective, the way you gotta look at it is, if you know nothing about the way the media works, you don't know anything about it, you kind of look at a link and you're like, most of the times, for most people, they'll read the headline, and
Yeah.
that's it. I'm like, oh
That
my
is
god, this headline said this, and it's like, well, what else did it say? Well, I don't know, I didn't read it. I was like, okay, well, that kind of destroys your argument in this whole consideration, or destroys the whole consideration of this whole argument. But even if you're somebody that clicks on all the links like I do and actually read through them, for me to see a retweet of their own tweet, I kind of look at it and be like, well, I already read that. I'll move on.
Yeah.
But if it's, I don't know, I guess that's counterproductive from what I said before, where it's if I see the same post again, I get fucking irritated.
Yeah. It's
I don't know.
it's
that's
hit
fuck,
and miss.
Fuck
because-
you, okay?
It's hit and miss.
You and your
because
goddamn good points. Sucking ass.
I do logic every now and then. That sounds weird.
About sucking ass and doing logic?
Yeah.
Or you do
just,
logic.
Just both. Everything.
Sexy ass logic. Great.
Sexy ass logic.
Let's get sexy and logical.
No,
Whip.
that's the thing
Whip.
is
Whip.
someone going to get
Whip.
irritated from seeing retweeted tweets, or someone going to just be more accepting of, hey, I've seen this. Hey, I'm scrolling through. Here's a tweet. Oh, they retweeted it. I mean, there's certain people who aren't going to know that they retweeted it 2 hours earlier or an hour earlier because they only scroll so much. Like, oh, that's nothing new. Blah.
For me,
Blah. Just throw their phone. I almost threw my phone in your face.
please don't do that.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
So
I don't like it.
it's gonna be. It depends
Yeah,
on the
well-
person.
The owl's telling you not to do it, so don't do it.
I was not saying shit. He just.
See where his arms don't move. He just goes.
Yeah. So it just kind of depends
I
on
guess his wings. He's
who it
his
is.
Wings.
This is way more opinionated than I thought it was gonna be.
I'm sorry.
With people like you and me, I'm less bugged about it than you are. I just scroll past shit that I like. All right, see, I saw that. I don't give a fuck.
And see, maybe I should be that person as well, apparently, because when I think about it and I make it my argument about it, and you're like, well, I mean, retweets are the same thing. Like, you didn't actually say it, but
Yeah,
that's what it came down to in my head.
It pretty
and
much
I was
is.
like,
It's like,
I was like, oh, fuck.
you're retweeting something somebody already
I'm
posted,
just-
and
I'm just being an asshole.
yeah.
I understand.
You're
That's
getting
great.
angry about something that you don't need to be angry about. You can just, if you learn to be like, you know what, fuck it, they're doing what they're doing. Move on.
No, you're right.
Do the slide.
You're right.
Move
You're
on.
right.
Yeah. Just do that. Just do that.
Maybe a little further.
Move on. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
That wasn't much. Here. That was the one I was looking for.
There you go.
No, I mean, okay.
It's-
All right. Looking at it, your point of like, okay, so just so everybody knows, we don't fucking plan these shows out at all. Like, we come up with topics, and then we're fucking spouting at each other. And I didn't even think about it in that point of view or that light, and I appreciate it. And I get it now.
Jameson.
We drank that whole bottle during the show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I don't know.
it depends on who you are. To be honest, I can see
It's very, very opinionated, and
if you're following
I appreciate
that many
I
people.
appreciate your look on it.
Okay. No, I in your defense, in your past defense,
My
your past defense,
my past
your defense is changing now.
Thank you.
Thank you. In your past defense
I'm gonna finish it.
of, I don't follow as many people as you do. Apparently, no, I definitely don't.
All of it.
Jesus. If
Every last
you
drop.
follow so many people to where you're able to only go like 2 hours or an hour in the past of tweets,
Yeah.
and you see the same tweet several times, that would be completely yours. I can see that being complete bullshit. I don't know what you're
I
doing.
don't know what that was.
But
I apologize for
into the sense of where I can go back like a day and a half or 2 days because I really haven't followed anybody because I'm a horrible social media person. I do not fucking pay attention to anything you're doing on social media.
Follow him. His name is I Need Muscles on Twitter.
Yeah, if you follow me, I won't do a goddamn thing. But
Yeah, he never
if you
posts
follow
anything.
me, I post things very limitedly.
I want to throw this bottle. I'm gonna put it over here.
Don't do that.
It's empty, and I just feel like there's a wall here, and it's not
There's
okay.
a lot of breakables around.
Yeah, very many.
Yes. So, in comparison to who you are with how many people you follow, to compare, that might be a Twitter setting, to be honest. If you can have,
I can mute people and whatever, but I mean,
It's not so much mute; it's see how long you can have active posts on your feed.
I don't think that's something you can change. I think you can only have this many tweets on your feed at a time.
Okay.
At a time, and then after that, they kind of just.
So if everybody's relaxed on their tweets, then you could see a lot more.
Yeah.
Or a lot more from individuals.
Yeah.
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 So if it's someone if you see multiple posts within an hour, that's fucking bullshit. If you see multiple posts
Which has happened.
within a day.
Multiples in a day, totally fine with
Yeah.
that. If I see so my biggest problem is I'm pretty sure GameSpot is way worse than everybody else, and they will repost the same post in like multiple times in an hour, and that sucks.
I need to follow a few more people, but I'm in agreement with GameStop and Kotaku. GameStop. That's what I said.
GameStop?
GameSpot. I don't remember what I said first.
You're drunk. Give me your keys.
GameSpot and Kotaku are definitely
They're
worst.
definitely the biggest culprits of that for sure. But like I said, before you guys get in too crazy, like, I can't believe you're complaining about this, but that's how they make their money. I get it. That's how they make their money, and I'm all about it. If that's how you make your money, great. Repost your shit, but
Too bad.
say who? I don't know what you just said. All I heard was team back, and that doesn't make sense.
Fat.
Team fat. Oh yeah. Shibby schwa.
Team Fat.
Kind of funny. And I don't know if you guys want to. I don't know if you can zoom in on the little button there. That's Portillo. It's Greg Miller's dog. I'm a kind of funny fan. What can I say? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it back. I'm a Greg Miller fan. I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah, no. That's
so,
different.
what was I saying?
Kotaku and GameSpot are the most controversial.
Oh yeah, that's how you make your money. I'm great with it, and it's great. Do your thing to make your money. But you gotta slow it down just a little bit, and
just a wee bit.
just a wee bit. And
You gotta focus on what you're doing, man.
you've got to focus. You got to focus on the grand scheme of what you're gonna post. Because if you're posting the same shit, no one's going to listen to you ever. But if you're posting the same different shit, you're going to be able to kind of get a little bit more
Smooth?
Smooth. Thank you.
I don't
That
fucking
works.
know what you're going for.
But anyway, so,
Even now.
I mean, if you think about it, what you want to do is you want to make sure you're not posting the same bullshit all the time. What you want is you want to spread out a little bit and make more posts for more people to see your more posts.
Fucking British.
Not British.
That was totally British.
Irish and Scottish, that's it.
No.
Irish, Scottish, and American, I guess. I don't know.
Totally British.
But, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get at is slow down with the reposts of your articles.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I'm not going to say, and then you'll get more clicks. You won't. You'll get probably less clicks. But you'll look better as a company, and I'll want to follow what you're doing a little further. But when you're posting the same bullshit all day long, I don't give a fuck, and I hate your company. Sorry. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
I just...
It's hard to want to...
I guess what we want... Well, I guess what we're getting at is we want more honesty from delays.
Yes.
And what I want is more... less repetitiveness from media outlets.
You want less self-promotion from media. I think
Shoot.
that's
I'll
what
take
you're
it.
aiming for.
I'll take it.
That's the way I'm phrasing it in my head. It might be different for you,
That
but
makes sense. No, that makes sense.
that's kind of the way I feel about it. Because when
Yeah, it
someone you run into someone who's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking amazing.
Look how good I am. Look how good I am.
And
How
then,
much
like,
are
and
you
then-
really
and
wanting
then,
to
like,
fucking talk to that
You see them
person?
for like less than 5 minutes, they come back and look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
You don't want to sit there.
I
and
already
talk
looked
to that
at you. I
person.
saw what you were wearing. It looks great. You got your titties out. Great, good for you. But look at this here. And I'm like, yep, same exact look. You're doing great still. Way to go.
Yeah, you want more humble companies. You want companies essentially that kind of sums up the
Yeah.
episode is you want companies to be more humble about what they're doing.
Humbleness, bitches. Also, get back to where we started in the beginning of this when we're talking about everybody being like, I gotta get it out first. Heads up, just so you know, every media outlet, every news outlet, gaming, real news, whatever the fuck you want to talk about, it doesn't matter. Don't just post the first fucking headline you get.
Yeah,
Do your fucking research, think about it, read about it, learn exactly what's going on, and then post the goddamn story. Because the biggest issue with all of media right now, like gaming media included, of the real media that you all probably listen to, the biggest problem we have is everybody goes, oh, me first, me first, me
Yeah.
first. Me first in the gimme gimmies. Guess what, boys? It's not 1995 anymore. It's 2017. Let's do some real research. Let's learn the real story. Then post a headline. Then post a goddamn story. Think about it for a minute.
That's a separate topic we'll go into. I can.
I got it out.
You got your statement. You're gonna go into your statement again.
No, that's it. I'm good.
No, you're gonna
That was
go
it?
into it again.
Am I? Okay.
Yes.
So, motherfuckers.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Got
Let me know when you're ready.
it.
Because the arms beta starts in 3 minutes.
Does it? Fuck, it does. All right, guys, we gotta hurry up and finish this shit. I'm sorry. I apologize so much. So, essentially, we want companies to be more humble with their delays and the way that they're getting themselves out there. We are going to... We're going to keep doing this. We haven't decided on how often. This is a fresh idea freshest idea for us. We've had it for a while, and we're finally doing it. And we're going to figure out a way to do it as often as we can. You'll probably see a lot of changes. But essentially, from gaming delays, we want more honestness.
Honestness?
Honestness.
What the fuck is an honest?
Because I can't do words, and we all know that already. And anybody knew I'm a horrible fuck up at words. So,
Yes.
welcome
That's
to
very
the
true.
general nerdiness that we do.
Welcome to the Nerdcast. We generally talk to you about some nerdy fucking things.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So, yes.
I'm not against what you just did,
It happened, so...
but I'm not exactly pumped about it.
Fuck off.
And that I appreciate.
So, we just want companies to be... We want them to be...
More humble.
More humble and give us some honesty. Slight honesty is a lot better than what they're doing in general.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up your shit.
If you guys want to follow us, we have a Facebook, General Nerdcast. You can email us at generalnerdcast@gmail.com. We have a
Twitter. At General Nerdcast. There's a theme going here, in case you were wondering.
General Nerdcast is what we are. It's what we do. We talk about the general nerdy things. We're going to keep coming at you with lots of different topics. If you have a topic you want us to talk to you about, I told you I fuck up words, and it's going to keep happening. And alcohol's not going to help. I'm going to keep doing it.
But it'll also be great inflictor.
I hope I make you giggle.
You make me laugh. That's great. I'll give it to you.
And
Fuck them if they can't take a joke.
yeah, we also do have you're going to be better at this because I cannot remember the goddamn name right now.
We have a Patreon page. And if you would love to support us and help us create better content, more content, move further in our careers in this content, you can go to patreon.com. You can search us General Nerdcast. We don't have a whole lot of different levels,
Avenues right now. We're still exploring. We're still expanding on what we want to focus on, what we want to do. And if you have honestly, if you have a general idea of what you would like us to try, we're open to suggestions. We have a lot of ideas floating around right now, and we're trying to see how we can get into that.
We're about making you happy, making you laugh, making you look at things in a different light, like we just did with the difference in game delays.
Yeah, I'm all about enjoyment. I love making people laugh. Honestly, if I can make someone laugh in a day, I'm pretty happy. If I can make a giggle happen, that's a good day.
And the way I look at it is we're in the entertainment business right now.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I look at it.
Not exactly, because we're trying to break into it, but the way I look at it is we're trying to entertain you. We're trying to make you think about things in a different light. We want you to think about things. We don't want you to think we want you to look exactly what everybody's saying and think like, well, that's it. That's the only way it can be. We're trying to make you kind of broaden your horizons and actually think about problems and actually think about what things are going. And if you can appreciate that, you're welcome here. And I would love to hear back from you. If there's something you want to hear us talk about, you comment below, email us, get us at Twitter, Facebook, whatever you want to get to us at.
Yeah.
We're all ears. We're all open. We're always looking for suggestions, and we love hearing from you guys. We're going to end the show.
We're going to end the show. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope we were slightly entertaining. I know we're not that emotion activated sometimes, but
we're not that extravagant. But I hope that what we
every now and then
engaged you enough that you actually thought about things and you actually were entertained and engaged enough that you were actually a part of the show.
I hope you enjoy what we're doing. I really do.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's all I really got to say about it. But we're here. You can get us General Nerdcast. Welcome to the first episode, the ending of the first episode of your Drunken Nerdcast. We don't do this for us. This is something we do on a daily basis. This is something we do for you guys. Something we want you to be involved with, and we would love for you to have you here.
Yeah. I hope you all enjoy.
For you to have you here. We'd love to have you here. Words are awful right now because I'm a little drunk.
I'm glad you are all listening to us. I'm glad to have an audience in general. It makes me pretty happy, although I am pretty antisocial. But anyone who listens to us ramble,
for you then.
Yeah, I'm happy. I hope I make you laugh. I hope you find our topics interesting. And to sign it off, love you all.
We love you.
Smooches.
Smoochy bochies.